Coco Melon. My brother's kid watches Coco Melon.
Take him off of it.
Like it's why?
It's actually bad for kids.
Oh, you're making stuff
No, I'm
up.
kidding. It's actually bad.
Send me the research.
It was.
All right, 712. But we never checked 7. Did we do 711?
No. We didn't do 711. Yeah, I did that while I was sick and I was too stimulated. There was too many things going on. I just thought I missed us checking. Now Thomas the Train.
So, yeah, I don't think we ever did 711 as a lesson. And I don't know if we're ever going to. Because I realize, like, okay, good for you. It was good practice. Remember, the practice is for you.
Just made me do work.
So, here's 712 answers. I don't know. Oh, no, we did 711. That was just the lesson that was super fun with the wind-up toys. Or not the wind-up toys, but like the cars. We did 711. You had that as a homework. We just haven't checked it yet. Now, so we can check it here in a minute. Let's look at 712 first, since that's what I told you we were doing. So guys, here's the problem that we're starting to have. Some of you are currently doing a homework assignment instead of checking 712. And I don't know if that's because 712 is not done, or if it is done, and like you just already checked it. Like I get in a struggle of like how to deal with this. Any questions? And we're recording, and the answer keys are on. Actually, I don't know if this answer key is on Schoology because it's in the CC2 book, right? So I might need to upload the CC2 answer key. Any questions on this? I'm scrolling down a little bit to see the other ones.
I got 712.
Val?
Where is 7-22?
I think I maybe deleted it.
It's on the back.
Is it? I was about to say, is it on there at all?
Can you scroll? Yeah, just.
It is on the back. Yeah, I moved the problems out of order just to like fit them on the paper.
Can you scroll just like a little bit?
Yep. So there's nothing else down here, right? Aside from like IQR, quartile 1, quartile 3. If you're avoiding finding quartiles, stop avoiding that. Come get help if you need. Scale factors are reciprocals in 22. That one that is on the back now. We're not turning this in. We might as well, while we're looking at this, go ahead and check 711 as well. So guys, if you need more time just like checking, like you can always do that on Schoology. I'm actually probably going to upload this to Schoology like right now so I don't forget. Give me a second. Yeah, absolutely. They're just up there so I can keep track of what's here or not. Just a second. Let me upload this first so I don't forget. Evidence to show you I'm doing it. Upload. Attach files. Math 7. Answers. Boom. There you go. If you want to keep checking this on your own. But you don't have to watch it upload. Alright, questions. 711. Liam. If you didn't get 711, it was a day with some cars. You probably just had too much fun and forgot to grab it.
No, I got a copy.
Bro, don't lose things. That's silly. That's silly. Yeah.
I don't have a copy of 713.
1-3.
Yeah.
Were you here yesterday? must have forgotten to grab it from back here.
Wait, can I speed it down?
But then I'm moving on.
Wait, 25 and 26.
Yep. All right. Any other questions from 1-1 before I move back to 1-2 for Lucy? Yeah.
I didn't get the 15.
What do you mean didn't get? What do you?
I didn't I didn't do it right, like any of it. Like I just don't understand how I was supposed to do that.
So in 15. Wait. Oh, 7-1-1 homework is what we're looking at. My bad. 1-1. 15. So find the new dimensions of the figure out the right when it's enlarged by a scale factor of 2.5. So every edge of the shape, and this edge is 4 when we start, and then 3 more on top of it, every edge gets multiplied by 2.5.
Yeah, I got that. And then
So what is a trap door? That is not what happens to area. Area does not get multiplied by 2.5 because if the length gets multiplied by 2.5 and the width gets multiplied by 2.5, what's actually happening here, right? If the length and the width, right, imagine both get multiplied by 2.5, and don't stretch it awkwardly. But let's paste another one in here and say if this, now the 4 and all those are wrong, because that would now be like, what, 10s and whatever else. But if this gets multiplied by 2.5 and this gets multiplied by 2.5, the new area is going to be the old area times not just 2.5. What?
just 5.
I think you went the wrong way. Not 5 either. 2.5 squared because it happens twice. So your old area gets multiplied by 2.5 squared.
Oh.
And if you didn't actually calculate the new area, you wouldn't have figured that out. Because that's not like a rule that you know yet. But that is whatever the scale factor is, that squared is what happens to area. And I bet a lot of us could guess if it's volume, it would be the scale factor cubed. Yeah, Nick, what's up?
So, I think I got the perimeter on the normal original one wrong because like
Did you put 16 instead of 20?
no, I put 24.
You counted one too many 4s.
So wait, but no, you have 16 in 4s.
No, you have 12 in 4s. Because this does not count as part of your perimeter.
Yeah, not 16 in 4s. Sorry, 12 in 4s.
Yeah.
So 12 in 4s, and then you have a 3 and a 5, and 3 and 5 together. Oh yeah.
You just talked yourself into the right answer. You just talked yourself into the right answer. That's why we go back and look at things a second time, right? Sam? Nope. Nope. Get a better organization system. Sorry. Actually, not sorry. Like, I shouldn't apologize when I'm not actually sorry. Not sorry. Keep track of your things. If you can't keep track of your things, that's a life skill you need to learn. All right, 714. With your partner, chat about how we can figure out the actual distance. Maybe.
The shortcut. I don't think it's gonna work on every situation, so I should probably figure out the right way to do it.
I don't know. Talk to Noah about what you think your shortcut is and see if he thinks it'll work. You are talking with your neighbor. What's the entire length of the trick?
And then you find that button. Are you sure that's right here?
How do we find the entire length of the track? It's up now, so you can always go like check it on using Schoology. And like honestly, having the right answer isn't a big deal. It's reworking if we get the wrong answer, like just looking at it again. But that's why we continually practice the same stuff.
I think I know why I got stuck. I got the perimeter wrong on that thing.
Yeah.
Since I had 16, like marked in as the area of that square.
Oh, you just used that number by accident?
Yeah.
Yep, I got you.
Like, I was like, oh.
Silly mistake, right?
And then I was 16, and like 4 were part of 16.
What's up, Lucy? Sure, but we're gonna move on like right now. So like guys, we should have some time at the end of class. This lessons, I want to make it about halfway into 1-5. They should go pretty quick. So we could read all this, but all of this says there are different ways to show the same thing. Right? Different ways to show the same thing. So Adele, do you have any thoughts about, we've got this situation on our paper. Linda's got a method, Lee's got a method. Either way, we need to figure out how far the actual trip is. We're only 2/5 of the way there.
So what I did is so from x to 100 it's times 2.5. So if you were to go back, you would divide it by 2.5.
We can see that like right here, I need another one of these and then another half, right? So we could do like times 2.5, and yeah, that would work. Leah, what'd you do? Gotta figure out where you guys are at now.
I really didn't do anything extra about what to do.
Okay, that's totally fine. Ren, what'd you do?
So what I did was I took 100 because it's 2/5, and I divided 100 miles by 2 to get 1/5.
Who did what Ren did, and instead you kind of sliced this up and said, okay, each of these is 50. Yeah.
And then I just multiplied that by 5.
So Ren found 1/5 is 50. So multiply by 5, you get 250.
Yeah.
Were you want to say something?
I have a question because I did it a different way.
Okay, how'd you do it?
Different answer. Okay, so I thought I don't like 5, so I multiplied everything by 2.
Okay.
So I got 200 miles is
Okay.
4 tenths.
4/5. There's your mistake. Because 2/5 times 2 over 1, right? It's not 2 over 2. It's 2 over 1. That's 4/5, and you just need one more fifth. Yeah, that was really a mistake. But does that make sense now? Why you accidentally doubled the bottom also? Trapdoor. Gotta watch out. There's snakes and pointy things in this. Stop this stuff. Anyone use Lee's method? Lee's like making triangles, like some similar figure work. This goes back to like what you guys did last year, actually, like in the other section of Accelerated 7-8.
Well,
Yeah.
that was what I did because, like, to get there times 2/5, and then to get back it should be divided by 2/5.
Okay, divided by 2/5. I couldn't have planned this any better. Thank you for saying that. Like legit, thank you for saying that.
Or you could say
On your paper, hang on to it, Algebra Boy. You're gonna get your vindication today. What you were trying to make me do yesterday, that's everything we're doing today. Everything you were trying to make me do yesterday, it's all of today. So, Adele says divide by 2/5. Quite frankly, I don't like division. So, when I think about this, I kind of shudder a little bit. I'm like, we're not going to divide. I can still do this. I can still go this direction. But instead of saying divide by 2/5, is there any other way I could say that, Nick?
times 5 twos.
Tooths? 5 halves, right, is what we would say. Times 5 halves. And why is that what happens? Well, it's almost like somebody planned this out. This is on your paper as well, like this section right here. So this is what Adele just told me to do. Divide by 2/5. But quite frankly, I don't want to. And this is one of those chances where you don't have to do what you don't want to do. which is probably why I actually ended up liking math, because you can avoid the stuff you don't like most of the time. I don't like decimals. I can most of the time avoid them, right? I don't like division. I can most of the time avoid it. So if instead of division by 2.5, or not, sorry, 2/5, we can keep, change, flip, and we end up multiplying by 5/2. Guys, I tried to make your notes like really well set up so that you can make yourself this reminder. Here's what we're doing. Right? It is on your notes. Please like write whatever you need to, highlight whatever you need to. This is exactly like what we've been doing. We have 2/5 multiplied by our x. Over here, it's written out differently than it is over here. We want to get rid of the 2/5. So to do that, how do I get rid of a division by 5? Multiply by 5. How do I get rid of a multiplication by 2? Divide by 2. So to get rid of any fraction that is in the coefficient, right, the number that's multiplied by the x, all we got to do is multiply by its reciprocal. That will always work. And to test this out, well, first let's solve this then. So we need to finish writing the answer here. So this becomes 10/10 x, which is really, what's 10/10? Really 1x, and 100 times 5, so 500 over 2, oh, just 250. That's what the kids say, right? You can't pronounce things like 50, you say 250.
250.
Violet?
I
Ah, funny. Different ways to get to Florida. You just accidentally went the same way as Lee.
just did the reciprocal thing.
Because Disney's in Florida. Sam?
You want to go Disney? Is it possible that you're able to avoid long division by doing multiplication or no?
So here, the other way that we could look at this, if you really want to add a splash of extra flavor, but I don't love this, but guys, another way that we could look at this, 2/5, what would that be as tenths? What would 2/5 be as tenths? 4/10. Zach, you had your chance to help me out, man. 4/10 x equals 100. How do I get rid of the multiplication by 0.4? Well, we could multiply by 10 and then divide by 4, right? Like the fraction buster way. Or I could just divide by 0.4. But, I don't like this method as well, because I don't love decimals. But, it's the same, right? So, are there other ways? Yeah. There are always other ways. But today, to practice this way, let's try these 3 on your graph paper. Or if you really got space on your but I doubt you have space on your homework paper. I'm going to write these up here again for my visually impaired friends who might need some help. Then I'm going to take a lap and be real sad if you're choosing not to do this. But, that's your choice. You're in control. I can't make you do anything, but I can tell you I told you so when you come and tell me you don't know what you're doing.
My other school teachers were all like, if you don't do it, I'll make you do it.
Normally natural consequences. Normally natural consequences. So guys, when I write down B, I'm going to write it down differently. I'm going to switch the left and right side. But am I actually changing anything? No. Because taking 2 times 3 equals 6 and saying 6 equals 2 times 3, it's the same. It's still equal. So I don't love that. I'm going to write down 2/7 x equals 12. I'm going to write it down with the variable on the left side. I like the variable on the left side. I like what I like. I'm old. I'm stuck in my ways. What was the advice about fractions that involve negatives, Violet? Yeah, -3/4. There's some advice about how to write that. Unless, I've only given it to Math 7 and not this class. Sam, got an idea?
I was going to ask a question about the division. So would I?
Well, hang on. We're not ready for questions yet. I'm looking for just advice right here.
I think I know.
What do you think?
So I think you would divide by the negative because a negative divided by a negative equals a positive.
So hold on there, buddy. This is not negative divided by negative. Right? Be real careful. This is why we're pausing here. If you're ignoring me, not a good choice. The fraction is negative.
I remember now.
You remember now.
On that one question, well, you put the negative on one of the sides because a negative divided by negative would be a positive, and it's a negative. So, like the result is a negative. So, you just put the negative on the top.
To write that better, not right versus wrong, but better, do not put the negative up front, because then you might accidentally think they're both negative. One of these numbers is negative. The fraction value, this is negative 0.75, right? But I don't like decimals. But that's what this is. It's you could if you wanted to. Fine.
I do like
Decimals
are better than fractions.
Oh, decimals are the coolest.
If you want, but I'm telling you, I'm not gonna solve that, but I'm writing it just to clarify. Like that's what this value is. Either put the negative at the top or put it in the bottom, but I would not leave it out front, guys. Just my advice. It's not wrong if you leave it out front, but I bet you'll end up making a mistake if you leave it out there. Try these. You got 2 minutes. I bet some of you are already done.
Good for them.
So for this, 1 minus divided by 2.
There's a method where you can change decimals. You can change decimals into fractions. The decimals have a purpose, and that's to be changed into fractions. 9.
If you don't know what to do right now, it's probably because you didn't pay attention while we were looking at this. Bro, am I calling you out by name? Quit painting the target on yourself. Multiply by the reciprocal. If you're trying to use decimals right now, gross. 4.5. Who wants to do 4.5x? What, Bryson? Nah, please don't. I don't like noises like that. Bryson, what could I do to 9 halves x equals 27 to, like, get to x?
Can I come up?
Sure. Can you do it fast?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into the lesson 5, so.
Oh, well, since...
You want to change colors?
Alright, so... I'm gonna multiply by 2 9s, and multiply this side by 2 9.
Now, but what could... What could we do to make our life easier?
What is that?
Hey, chill. What could we do to make our life easier, though? Because I don't even like 27 times 2. You're the one who has to come up. 27 is not a fraction, but it can be a fraction if we over 1. And then if we look for a cross-reducing option. A 27 over a 9 can be reduced. What can these both divide by?
3.
9! Right?
Yeah.
They can both divide by 9. I agree. They can both divide by 3. But then you could do it again, and that'd be silly. So divide by 9, this becomes 3. Divide by 9, this becomes 1. Oh, great. Now I just, 2 times, this would be 18 over 8. Oh yeah, those wipe each other out. That wipes out, that wipes out. I just get 1x equal to 3.
You would just put S. Oh my gosh! It's so
Because
frustrating.
it is not that
I
easy.
won so
Guys, we're gonna move on from you being annoyed about this, because I'm not doing that to mess with you. I'm doing that to clarify we only have 1. Now, if I want to mess with you, I'll start saying, hi, 1 soap. Every time I see soap, I'll refer to 1 soap, not just soap. I'll say 1 soap, and then that'll really bug her. But we're going to move on from getting upset about this, because you're not going to change me. I'm old and I'm stuck in my ways. 1x. It's to clarify 18 over 18 makes 1. Same.
So, why is it x 1x equals 6?
Because if you did 27 times 2 and then divided that by 9, you get 6. But we could reduce ahead of time. Guys, if this, what I wrote in bright green, doesn't make sense, don't do it. What we jumped over, the steps we skipped over, is doing 18 over 18x equals 27 times 2 is 54 divided by 9. That's 6. Wow! But if you have practiced any cross reducing, that's an option to kind of jump through the work a little bit quicker. You don't have to do that. Every time we cross reduce, I tell you, we don't have to. It just makes things easier. So Lucy, what could I do with my 2/7 to solve this?
Oh, okay. So, first, I divided 12 by 2 because I really didn't like the 2/7.
You're trying too hard. What you're doing is right, but you're trying harder than you need to. I'm trying to make your life easier. And you're like, no, I want to do it the hard way.
That's just what you said, though.
Okay, maybe you're just talking out your steps, but what we want to do here is multiply by the reciprocal, and then I'm going to agree with what you said, Lucy. But I'm going to write it out like this, and first we have to make the 12 over 1. Right? Now, I don't know if that is what you did, or if now you're like, okay, maybe I didn't do exactly that.
I didn't do that.
We need to be like thinking about multiply by the reciprocal. Guys, this is one of those times where I know you probably have a way that you've done this before. That wasn't the best way. I'm trying to teach you the best way. If you keep clinging on to what you've done before, you'll like keep doing it the same way, and that's fine, but there's a better way. Right? Like, I'm trying to teach you the better way, and some of you won't listen. You're trying to ride a bike on a flat tire, and I'm like chasing after you with an air pump, and you're like, no, my flat tire is fine. Like, I'm trying to make your life easier. So with here, I'm not going to cross reduce, even though we could. 12 and 2 can reduce by 2, and that would become 6. But if I don't, what I get is 14 over 14x equals 84 over 2, which makes just 1x equal 2.
I knew it. I should have listened to myself.
Probably should have. So anybody, to solve this final problem, we're going to
Reciprocal multiple.
Get rid of the negative.
multiply by,
The negative.
well, not negative, we're just the reciprocal.
Dang
So,
it. We're gonna do
Hey.
math.
I heard you, but I was still looking for 4/3. I was trying to get someone to actually say the number. So, guys, if this is our problem, the reciprocal of -3 over 4 is +4 over -3. If we're being particular, right? Keep the negative on the 3. And we do it over here as well. I put my 21 over 1. This would make -12 over -12. What's a negative divided by a negative?
Positive. It's positive.
I could cross reduce. I'm not going to, because that's confusing some of us. So this would turn into 84 over -3. What's a positive divided by a negative? A negative. 84 divided by 3? I don't know either.
14.75.
It's less than 30.
15.75.
I don't think it's 14.
28?
Yeah, 28.
28 sounds a lot more
Negative
right.
28.
Oh, I did that one.
Multiply by the reciprocal. Guys, this is also why fractions are better. Because I can, in one step, destroy the fraction by using the reciprocal. Destroy it. Questions on what we did today? Oh, hey, my drills are here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, when you go to play volleyball again, Mr. Smith has a lot less to do, thanks to a masonry drill bit going through the cinder block wall. Yeah, a masonry drill bit. All right, moving on, Nick.
So, can you do an example of cross multiplication?
Cross reducing. So if I go back and re-solve these using cross reduction, and actually I really like you asking about that. Thank you. How this works is you're looking for something on top and bottom. And guys, if this makes sense to you, you're welcome to work on your homework. But if cross reducing doesn't make sense to you, listen. When we're multiplying, and I'm going to write this out differently, what we're actually doing here, the multiplication that we care about, is 12 over 1, and I'm going to rewrite this out here. 12 over 1 times 7 over 2. Okay, I'm just writing all in the same color. Cross-reducing is effectively saying, I can move these numbers around however I want, so the same problem can be written as 12 over 2 times 7 over 1. Because really, these are going to combine into one big fraction. And it doesn't really matter if it's 1 times 2 or 2 times 1. And then 12 over 2 can really reduce out to a 6 over 1. And that's what we would do up here if we were trying to cross-reduce. We would say, oh, 12 can divide by 2, and 2 can divide by 2. So on top and bottom, we divide by 2 and get 6 and 1. Similarly, if I come down here, 21 times 4, 1 times negative 3. If I bring this over, 21 times 4, negative 3 times 1, right? I'm just like explaining why this works. Really what we identify is, oh, the 21 and the 3 get along. Yes, it's negative, I know. So what would 21 and 3 do when they get along? Well, 7, right? 7 and 1. It becomes 7 over 1. Or over here, I could have said, oh, 1, but remember the negative, and 7, because they can both divide by 3. So you're doing the same thing on top and bottom. Essentially, you're simplifying ahead of time.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, you're simplifying it. It's unnecessary. It is never necessary. It's really convenient, though. Like, it helps things.
I asked because I really like this type of thing.
Yeah, because it's algorithmic. I think your brain is an algorithmic sort of brain. Yeah. Hey, so we're not going to get into 715 today, obviously, because when people are asking questions, that is way more valuable than moving forward quickly. Okay, so like, I'm always happy to take questions.
So, what would happen if the number like on
If it doesn't become one.
numerator, and the denominator on the other side, if they don't like they go into each other?
There's just no cross reducing. We just multiply straight across, multiply straight, like here, how we got 84 over negative, we just do it like that. Yeah, there's just no shortcut. Womp womp. Sad combo. Alright, you got like 3 minutes to work on your homework. Because we are not out of here yet. And you might as well use those minutes. Guys, if you're packed up, ready to leave, like, why? You got 3 minutes. That's at least a problem. Like, I'm guessing you can probably get a problem done.
3 is more than 1.
3 is more than 1.
3 is more than 71.
What? Logic. 71 over.
But 3 is the magic number.